A capacity crowd tonight at the Pearson Court for tonight's OVC title matchup between the Fairland Dragons and the Chesapeake Panthers, along with John Bruce. My name is Dewey Daly as we welcome you into tonight's coverage. John, a big one on tap. Round two between the Dragons and Panthers. Should be a good one here in the final week of the regular season in the Southeast District.
Yeah, matchup one went to double overtime. A little less than a week ago, our Brock Netter had full story on it on the SOS Ohio website. It was a game where Fairland led 0 seconds until the second overtime. They finally took a lead and were able to hold on to it. It was a 47-40 game with just about 2.5 minutes left. Brody Buchanan for Fairland took over a quick 7-0 run to end regulation that actually happened in about 45 seconds of gameplay. Eventually forces overtime. Both teams go scoreless in overtime. Then they go into overtime number two, at which Fairland won that one 8-2 for the 55-49 win to have an advantage in this game. They are a game up on Chesapeake right now, but a win for Chesapeake will earn them a share of the conference crown along with the Fairland Dragons.
And John, Chesapeake 19-2 overall this season, 12-1 in the Ohio Valley Conference. Nearly had their conference title aspirations slashed this past Monday. A big win in overtime over Ironton on the road for the Panthers.
Yeah, they're down by 9 with 1:26 left, and Maddox Cuzzy really took over late in that game. He had 30 points in the second half. They come back from down 9. They end up winning in overtime, and just a fantastic come-from-behind win. And those are the type of games that you need to get over the hump, win the league, but also to get you ready for the tournament time, where you've got to do every little thing possible to win the game, where maybe they weren't able to get over the hump last week at Fairland and Proctorville, but they were able to do it on Monday, and let's see if they can do it tonight here at home, here at the Pearson Court.
And John, you mentioned Maddox Kazee. Been a big part of the success this Chesapeake Panthers team has had over the last 2 seasons. Had that game-tying right-handed runner close to the end of the fourth quarter on Monday. Has been a big part of the success the last couple of seasons for Coach Stephen Ader.
Yeah, only a sophomore because he has been outstanding for them. We got to see him last year down at Jackson in the tournament, and you could just tell at that point he was a player. He's not the only one on this team. You've got Caden Perkins. You've got Ethan Kearns. Carson Frecka was really good the other day as well. Jacob Skeens. We see different players step up throughout the year for this Chesapeake team because he's been the guy, but he's not the only one. They're a well-coached team, obviously, to get to 19-2. They do have that kind of surprising loss to Lucasville Valley, but besides that, they've held serve and given themselves a chance here on the last game of the regular season for both of these teams to get to, an OVC championship.
And John, for the Fairland Dragons, 19-1 and unbeaten 13-0 in the Ohio Valley Conference. Had a great weekend last Friday and Saturday, along with that win over Chesapeake at home. Had a big win over the number 1 seeded team in Division 7 in the Southeast District. The big one over Southwestern.
Yeah, it was a very dominant one. After they had to battle for 40 minutes to even get ahead at any point against this Chesapeake team, they come back on Saturday to play a very good Southwestern team. They took a lead late in the first quarter, and then they added to it in that second, and then they were able to hold on, and really it never got below the 15 mark in that second half. It's the big thing when you've got a point guard and a player like Brody Buchanan, you're going to have a chance in any game. The ultimate competitor for Fairland, he can get it done in a variety of ways. We say can score at 3 levels, in the mid-range, at the hoop, and then behind the 3. But, man, when he gets going downhill, he is unbelievable. He can kick out the shooters, and he's got shooters. You can go over those numbers on those 3-point shooters, but, man, when you were saying it in the pregame, I was very impressed with what Fairland can do, and that makes things easier for Brody Buchanan.
Yeah, John, you mentioned the great shooting on the outside for the Fairland Dragons as a team, shooting 38% from beyond the arc. The trio of Keegan Smith, Cliff Franson, and Trevor Locko all over 40% from downtown this season.
Yeah, and when you've got three different options on the outside, that makes it very hard to guard Buchanan. He's left-handed, which automatically, for whatever reason, the first two or three times you see him, he's going to get by you because you don't it just doesn't. It doesn't hit right. Like you don't realize it when you're guarding it because you're guarding so many right-handed players. So he gets that first step a lot of times, and then when he does, if you help out, he's going to kick out the shooters that are going to make shots, and that is why they've got to this 19-1 record. And they were kind of an unknown coming into the season because you knew what Brody Buchanan could do, you knew what Keegan Smith could do, but Gabe Polson comes back after a couple years out of basketball, and then Locko and Cliff Franson have been unreal shooting-wise for them, and then also they've grown their game since game one, which we had in that North Adams game to start the season, and they were super impressive then, and they've been impressive throughout the season.
Yeah, Locko, John, 9.5 points per game, the OVC Soccer Offensive Player of the Year, along with Gabe Polson, two really good soccer players for the Dragons in the fall. Polson, a first-team All-Ohioan, and you mentioned Cliff Franson, 12 points and 8 rebounds per game for the junior.
Yeah, and it's just they've got a variety of guys that have won in other sports too. So maybe you haven't done it so much in basketball. Like you're new to the varsity basketball team, really. For even though Locko played a good bit late in the season last year, but for like Franson, Polson, Locko even, you've won in other sports. You know how to win. You can just carry that over, and then when you've got a leader and a winner in Brody Buchanan, and then Coach Speed is one of the best in the Southeast District, as is Coach Ader for Chesapeake. This is a great coaching matchup, great matchup overall between two outstanding teams that I would be shocked if we didn't see a rematch in a couple weeks down at the Convo for a district championship.
John, Chesapeake looking to make it back-to-back seasons with at least a share of the OVC title. Fairland already clinching a share, but looking for their first outright title since the 2021-22 season. What has to happen for both teams in order to get a win here tonight?
Well, I think Chesapeake needs to get to that fast start once again. They need to get that lead and then do what they need to do to hang on to it. I think Fairland got to knock down some shots early. They got down. When they get ahead, they are very hard to come from behind on. So for Fairland, if they get a lead, that might be the ball game. So for Chesapeake, you got to try to stay out in front, play out in front, do it quickly. You got a really big home crowd here, and this should be a great game. It's a great atmosphere, and really glad we were able to get down here.
OVC title up for grabs tonight along the Ohio River. Panthers and Dragons coming up next here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par Mar has it. Download the Par Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
We welcome you back to the Pearson Court here at Chesapeake High School. The starters here tonight first. For Coach Speed and the Fairland Dragons, it'll be Gabe Polson, Trevor Locko, Cliff Franson, Keegan Smith, and Brody Buchanan. For the Panthers, Ethan Kearns, Caden Perkins, Maddox Kazee, Philip Thacker, and Carson Frecka.
Should be fun.
Frecka and Smith to the center circle. The opening tip goes with Fairland. So the Dragons with the first offensive possession for us here tonight. Smith's pass inside, taken away by Kearns. Pass ahead, deflected by Buchanan, thrown back into play by Polson.
Each team with a quick turnover to start. And for me, I would like to see Keegan Smith shoot that ball on the outside. He had a couple of really big pump fakes. But definitely had a look. Good look outside from France. A good board by Kazee. After an empty possession from each team, Fairland gets the first look, unable to hit.
.60 seconds gone here in the first. Both teams scoreless. Perkins looking inside. Frecka. Pass to Kearns. Inside. Banks it in.
Great backdoor cut. And that's using the scouting report there where you know they're going to come down on Frecka. Frecka does a good job of just finding the cutter on the backside. Quick 2-0 lead.
Buchanan, 15-footer off the mark. Offensive rebound for Buchanan. Second opportunity now for the Dragons.
Yeah, good look there for Buchanan and does what a shooter should do. If he knows it's going to be off and you're not at the top of the key, might as well follow your shot. Good work there by the senior point guard.
Short corner with Polson. Now Buchanan right elbow going to work. Buchanan kicks it out. Franson left side three off the mark. Franson wide open on the offensive rebound. Put back is good.
Yeah, once again, you just follow your shot. If you're not up top, you're not the guy dropping back in transition, you might as well follow it if you know it's off. Good work by Franson.
Kazee driving inside through traffic, able to bank it in.
Big size advantage there, even though Buchanan very strong for his size. Kazee uses his size and strength to get to the basket for the first two of the game for him.
Buchanan hop step inside out to Franson, a baseline drive poked out of bounds by the Panthers.
Yeah, good hands. I think it was Caden Perkins was able to get the hands on that to deflect that away, because if not, Cliff Franson has another 2 points.
A 4-2 lead for Chesapeake, 3 minutes into the first. Polson pass to Franson, able to bank it off the glass.
Great look there, and another really nice cut. Good cut to the basket, good find from Polson, who from game 1 until game 21 has gotten so much better throughout the season.
Now Perkins driving underneath. Ethan Kearns inside, pass over to Frecka, can't get it to go. Deflected out of bounds, last touched by Fairland. Baseline out of bounds play coming up for Chesapeake.
I think Polson was able to get a hand on that. It was good drive and cut from Ethan Kearns. Frecka just unable to get it up over the defender.
Perkins, Kearns corner three. That's good. Ethan Kearns from downtown.
Sometimes the simplest play is the most effective. Shooter just not being guarded, gets it to him. Knocks it down 5 now for Ethan Kearns.
Buchanan driving to the basket, flicks it up with the left hand. Tough shot for the senior.
Just very strong. Good work there by the senior to get to the hoop.
Perkins left elbow jumper, too strong off the back iron. Franson the rebound for the Dragons. Buchanan, that's a two-pointer, puts it in.
Yeah, just he's able to step into the shot. He beats you off the dribble the first time, so you got to give an extra step. He sees that, senses it, steps into the jumper for about an 18-footer. 4 quick points for Brady Buchanan.
Kazee down the lane, deflected out of bounds by Polson, who's calling for the foul.
Yeah, I think Polson was trying to say that he stayed elevated, but I think he gets the body into him as he was pretty vertical. But it's going to get Kazee to the line.
Kazee able to knock down the first.
Yeah, the sophomore plays like a much more experienced player.
2 for 2 on the trip for Maddox Kazee. Panthers back out in front by 1. Buchanan now backs it out. Looking to reset. Here's Locko near side now with Smith. Entry pass to Polson, looking back door for Smith. It's taken away by Kearns.
Second steal for Kearns. Does a nice job jumping that backdoor look.
Into the corner, Perkins can't connect from downtown. Offensive rebound for Philip Thacker. Now Frecka inside, Kazee can't get it to go. Second out, effort is good.
6 points already for Kazee. Gets that one because of the effort. Good work there for the sophomore. 6 as the Panthers lead 11-8.
Three-point lead now for Chesapeake. Buchanan straight on three. That's good. Brody Buchanan connects from 3.
And when he gets going, he's so hard to stop. 7 now for Brody Buchanan.
Just 28% from downtown for Buchanan this season, able to knock down his first triple here tonight.
We mentioned him finishing at all 3 levels. He's done it so far for his 7 points. A layup, mid-range, and now a 3.
Short corner, Frecka looking outside for Perkins. It's taken away. Locko on the run out, banks it in to give the Dragons the lead.
Good play there by Locko, jumping into the passing lane, and then an easy layup on the other end.
Less than 90 seconds to go here in the first. 13-11 Fairland. Kearns a baseline drive, able to bank it in.
3 for 3 for 7 points now for Ethan Kearns. Senses the defender starting to float a little bit to the inside, beats him baseline for the finish.
Buchanan two-pointer, puts it in. Another mid-range jumper for the senior, Brody Buchanan.
4 for 5 now for Buchanan. Like I said earlier, once he starts feeling it, you're in trouble. They already gotten that feeling going already early for his 9 points.
Lead back up to 2 for the Dragons. .35 to go in the first. Perkins off the screen inside through traffic, can't bank it in. Franson the rebound for Fairland, 15 to shoot now for the Dragons. Six now, 5 to shoot for Fairland. Buchanan throws it up at the horn and misses.
Outstanding defense there by Philip Thacker to finish the quarter.
15 to 13, Dragons leading after 1. We'll take a break. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Pearson Court here in Chesapeake. Dragons leading by 2 after the opening quarter here tonight. We mentioned how big of a matchup this was last Friday, a double overtime win that the Dragons were able to take to remain unbeaten in the Ohio Valley Conference. Final conference game tonight for both teams, with first place in the league up for grabs.
6 points in that first quarter for Maddox Cuzzy, and then 7 for Ethan Kearns to lead the Panthers. 9 points for Brady Buchanan to lead all scorers.
Panthers with possession to begin the second. Drew Plants checking in for the Panthers. In between quarters, Plants hitting the deck. And touching a piece of the baseline, a turnover for the Panthers to begin the second quarter.
Third turnover for the Panthers, 2 in the first quarter, 2 for Fairland in that first quarter as well.
Fairland remaining the same between the quarters. Buchanan can't connect from 3. Frecka the rebound for Chesapeake.
A really good look there to start the quarter, though, for Fairland.
Perkins spinning inside, off the backboard, won't go. Rebound, Franson.
His 4th already. I like the attack there from Caden Perkins, though. Didn't get going in that first quarter. He's one of their top scorers. I like the fact he just keeps attacking.
Keegan Smith driving to the basket. Off balance, can't bank it in. Last touch by Keegan Smith, far side. Chesapeake going to take back over. It's John Cooper Parker checking in for the Panthers. Jeremiah Pfizer onto the court for the first time tonight for Coach Speed.
Wish I was more clever to come up with like a vaccination joke here for Pfizer, but can't do it that quickly.
Kazee driving to the basket, kicks it out. Drew Plants a baseline drive, bounce pass over to Frecka, who finishes.
Good work there by Plants coming off the bench. Had the quick turnover to start, but adjusts very well there to get the assist. Good finish inside from Frecka.
All tied up once again, this time at 15. Here's Franson inside. Fairland back out in front by a deuce.
And another good cut and another good look from Polson. Polson with a good look inside, hits Franson for the second time for a cutting layup. Both coming from that same corner as well.
Plants, that's a three off the mark. And an offensive foul underneath on Carson Frecka. Philip Thacker back onto the floor for Chesapeake.
Pretty good look there, but good work inside from Fairland, just getting bodies in the way, which leads to the push in the back there by Frecka. First team foul and first on Frecka.
Buchanan, 15-footer, can't connect. Another rebound for Carson Frecka. And a timeout for Chesapeake. Full timeouts for Coach Stephen Eder. We'll take it with him. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Pearson Court. First time out tonight for either team, and it comes in the way of Chesapeake. 17-15, Fairland leading 5:15 to go in the first half.
Hey, good time out from Coach Eder there. They've seemed kind of flat so far in this second quarter. You're only down 2, though, so it's a good timeout. You can regroup, maybe run a good set here to try to get something for Cuzzy, but almost a turnover. Nice play by Philip Thacker.
Keegan Smith back onto the floor during the timeout for Fairland. Thacker puts it on the floor, inside, able to finish.
Yeah, the first time I saw Thacker was a couple years ago. He was more aggressive offensively than he is now. That was kind of reminiscent of what he was able to do as a freshman. Good work there by the junior to tie this thing back up.
Smith spinning inside, lost it. Polson regains possession for Fairland.
Polson just makes winning plays.
Locko inside, Polson wide open, banks it in.
Yeah, good execution there. You think it's going to be Brody Buchanan, but it ends up being Polson rolling back to the basket. Good find from Locko. First basket of the game for Polson.
Thacker down low with Frecka. Frecka going to work on Franson, kicks it out to Barker. Now Barker hop step inside, flicks it up with the right hand and misses. Rebound Smith. Buchanan a bounce pass to Franson, can't finish through traffic, but a foul.
So the first trip to the line. Only the second team foul. That's the first on Drew Plants. But Fairland does such a good job. They know the overplay on the outside's coming, so they're just cutting backdoor really well and finding each other, and that's why they have this 3-point lead right now.
Caden Perkins returns for John Cooper Barker.
7 for Franson.
2 for 2 on the trip for the 6'3 junior Cliff Ranson.
I believe this 4 points is our biggest deficit of the game. Played pretty tight so far through the first 12-plus minutes.
Thacker lob inside. Kazee able to finish.
Yeah, he's got a size advantage. Buchanan tries to face guard him there. Good work just adjusting to it, getting the ball over top. Good pass, good execution. Kazee's got 8.
Kazee, one of the more promising freshmen from a season ago, has continued to excel on the court this season as a sophomore.
He may be the top sophomore in our coverage area. He's been outstanding throughout the season for the Panthers.
Tough interior defense for the Panthers. Polson, 15-footer off the mark. Frecka brings it in for Chesapeake.
Good defense from Chesapeake, not letting any cutters go. Forcing it into a mid-range that they weren't super comfortable with.
Thacker feed to Kazee. Kazee a skip pass near side with Plants.
Kazee just got away with a moving screen there. But it's going to be a turnover either way.
Perkins lost it, driving to the basket. Fairland going to take over with 2:12 to go in the first half.
And now this is one of those really good tournament officiating crews that are going to call things tight. It's going to be a pretty tight whistle, but because he gets a little fortunate there, stuck the shoulder into a cutter or a defender.
Kearns back onto the floor for the Panthers. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the second. Waco corner 3, yes.
Over 45% from the 3, or around 45% from 3 on the year. That's why they run the special for him, and Laco buries the triple. 5 points now for the junior.
Now Kearns driving the other way. And a defensive foul on the floor. Looks like it'll be Keegan Smith. First for the senior, first for Fairland this quarter as well.
2 fouls for each team in the half. Only 1 here for Fairland in the second quarter.
Baseline out of bounds play now for Chesapeake. Perkins labs it in beyond the arc with Kearns. Perkins lob into Frecka. Triple team Frecka, counted and 1.
Good pass inside. Great work by Frecka to just get himself settled before going into the contact and finishing. 4 points now for Carson Frecka.
Frecka able to convert the three-point play. The Panthers back within 2 with 1:30 to play.
Yeah, negates Laco's 3 on the other end. It's also his first foul.
Turnaway crowd tonight at the Pearson Court for tonight's OVC title game. Buchanan corner 3, puts it in. Brody Buchanan with his second triple tonight.
Yeah, he went 4 for 5 to start the quarter, or start the first. Missed his last 3 shots, but buries that quarter 3. 12 points now for Brody Buchanan.
Lead back up to 5 for the Dragons.
It's going to be an offensive foul coming if Frecka's not careful.
Thacker puts it on the floor. Kicks it out to Kearns, who drives. Right-handed runner and a foul. Be the second on Keegan Smith.
I'll tell you what, if you watch that back, Frecka and Gabe Polson were just absolutely battling. The official was letting them go because it was nothing. Neither player was getting an advantage because of the physicality. That was just good basketball inside by the bigs. And now even the official talking to them, letting them know what is a foul, what's not going to be a foul. and kind of why no whistle is being called there. Good work there for Ethan Kearns to get to the hoop. 7 points in that first quarter. 8 now on the game.
A perfect trip to the line for the senior Ethan Kearns. One possession ball game with 15 seconds to go in the first half. Dragons gonna hold for last. 8 now, 7 to shoot. Buchanan kicks it to Franson, straight on 3. That's good. Cliff Franson connects from downtown to extend the Dragons' lead to 6.
Just a beautiful execution there to finish the half by the Dragons. You know Brody Buchanan's going to be ball dominant there. They double it. Franson's open for a split second and then buries the 3 with that high release to make it a 6-point game, their biggest lead of the game going into the half.
30-24, the Dragons. 1 half away from their first outright OVC title in 3 seasons. We'll take a break. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
We welcome you back to the Pearson Court here in Chesapeake. The Panthers trailing by 6 as Fairland leads 30-24 at the break. John, a big 3 for Cliff Franson just before the horn to extend the Dragons' lead to 6 headed into the second half.
Yeah, Franson, one of those guys that shoots over 40% from three-point range, had missed his first 2 looks to start the game and then buried that one to finish the half. And like I said, as they're going to the locker rooms, it's just such a high release and he's got good size to him anyway at 6'3", and it's a high release, makes it really difficult to affect it. So even though there's defenders coming flying at him there at the end, he just calmly just buries that triple to give him 11. And this has been a really interesting output so far for Fairland. Brady Buchanan really got you going in that first quarter. He had 9 points. He only had 3 in that second quarter. They scored 15 in each quarter, though. So even without Buchanan, who you hear his name the most, they're able to score, and they're able to do it at the same efficiency as they did in that first quarter. Buchanan does a great job of finding his teammate there to end the half. On the Laco three, he did a good job of screening down on it, too. So it's being unselfish. It's being a really well-rounded team, which is what has got them the 6-point advantage at the half. 12 points for Brady Buchanan, 11 points for Cliff Franson, 5 points for Trevor Laco, 2 points for Gabe Polson. Keegan Smith didn't score, but he played really good defense like he does. There's a chance that Keegan Smith could just go off for like 10 to 12 points in the third or fourth quarter, because that's kind of what he does. He just kind of can explode at times, but he's going to be really good defensively. He's going to lock you down, and he's going to help you in a variety of ways that maybe don't show up on the in the scorebook, but he can do it, and that's making those winning plays. For Chesapeake, one of the things I said in the pregame, can't get down. 6 is not insurmountable, but if this gets to 10 going into the fourth, that's when Fairland may just take the air completely out of the ball for that last 8 minutes. So for Chesapeake, they need to start quick here in the second half. Fairland's going to get the ball to start, so they got to try to start quick, get back into this game, keep it at 6 or less. Ideally, if you're Chesapeake, you take the lead back, but you just don't want to be down 3 possessions or more on this Fairland team, because they're going to make it really tough to come back on you. So you want them to keep playing, and maybe they miss some shots, maybe they turn it over, which they've only done 2 times so far. So that part's unlikely, but maybe they miss some shots and you can get back in the game that way. Chesapeake's played good defense so far. A couple of trips, they've forced tough shots or just uncomfortable looks for Fairland, but other than that, Fairland's getting pretty much the shot they want most trips. For Chesapeake, they've been a little more spread out. 9 points for Ethan Kearns, 8 for Maddox Cuzzy, who's only 3 of 4 shooting. That might be the big thing for Chesapeake. You might adjust on that, where Cuzzy's got to get the ball a little bit more, because he's got to get more than 4 shots from the field if you want to win this game. 5 points for Carson Frecka, 2 points for Philip Thacker, and then John Cooper Barker, Drew Plants, Caden Perkins gave some excellent minutes as well. But they're a team, Cuzzy gets them going. He kind of makes this team go. So they almost got to force it to him. They forced it into Frecka a couple different times, and he scored. But right now, Brady Buchanan's doing a really good job of limiting the touches for Cuzzy, because only 4 attempts, and that's, to me, really been the difference in this game, because he had 30 in the second half against Ironton the other day, where it was almost, hey, he's going. Like, we're getting him the ball, he's going to get us back in this game, and he can do it. But if Brady Buchanan's doing everything he can to just eliminate him from the offensive end of the court, you got to make adjustments, and I think Coach Ader and his staff are going to be able to do so in the second half.
And John, for Fairland, we mentioned, along with Chesapeake, 19 wins on the season. Fairland just 1 loss, and it came to Warren. Since that loss, John, 13 straight wins for the Dragons. Here in the second half for Chesapeake, what do they have to do that only one other team has figured out this season to take down Fairland?
That Warren team is ridiculous. Warren has also given the only loss of the season to Minford, so not a bad squad over there, and Vincent. But, yeah, for Chesapeake, you just got to do what you can to limit what Buchanan's able to do and close out on the shooters. If he's able to beat you off the dribble, you got to close out on shooters, make it to where the outside shot from, Laco and Franson isn't available. And then you got to be really efficient on the offensive end. I think you got to, I say force it to Cuzzy, but not really force it, but try to make it a point to where he's got to get 10, 12 shots here in the second half, because if he takes 4 more shots, they're probably not coming back in this game. But you say, hey, we're only down 6. It's a 2-possession game, so let's play defense. Let's not let them shoot open threes. And then on the offensive end, let's be efficient. When we drive, when some of the guards have been driving, got to make sure we land on two and go up through contact and finish, because there's not going to be a ton of fouls called unless it's very obvious and borderline intentional. So you got to finish strong. You got to know what you're getting with the officials, which is what you're going to get next week and beyond in the tournament. It's going to be a physical game. So you got to make adjustments to that here in this last 16 minutes.
Fairland, the number 2 seed in Division 5. Chesapeake, the number 3 seed in Division 5. They'll be back in action on February 21st when they host the 14th-seeded Alexander Spartans. As for Fairland, also will be back in action on February 21st in Proctorville. However, their opponent is still unknown. They'll have the winner of Piketon and River Valley's district first-round matchups.
I'd say probably Piketon at that. We haven't done our picks yet on Overtime presented by Perfection One, but that'll be on next week's episode. The girls' episode was this week, so make sure you check that one out. Got posted yesterday.
Full bracket breakdowns of Division 4, 5, 6, and 7 in the Southeast District. Live next Tuesday on Southern Ohio Sports Authority's YouTube page. The official flagship podcast of SOSA. Overtime presented by Perfection One. So it'll be Fairland basketball to begin the third quarter. They lead by 6 over the Panthers. Third quarter underway. A lot of pressure for the Panthers to begin the quarter.
I like it. Just bring it out. You played 8 guys in that first half, so you probably got some energy. Use it on the defensive end. Try to force the turnovers. Only 2 in that first half for Fairland.
Buchanan driving inside, out to Lacko, corner 3. That's good. Trevor Lacko, another 3.
Hand down, man down. Cannot lose Lacko. 44% from 3. He's 2 for 2 tonight. 8 points now for the junior.
Lacko, Franson, and Buchanan all with 3s here tonight. Kazee driving inside, out to Kearns for 3. Able to answer with a triple of his own.
That's a big-time shot for Ethan Kearns. He's got 12 points, 4 for 4 from the field.
Lead right back down to 6. Here's Buchanan. Connects from downtown. Brody Buchanan with his 3rd triple tonight.
3 possessions in a row with triples, all from 3 different players for Fairland.
Kazee 3 off the mark. Keegan Smith goes up top for the rebound. Buchanan driving to the basket. Tough defense inside from Kazee. Frecker the rebound. Kearns inside. Fakes up for the layup. Banks it in.
Great defense from Kazee. Then a nice job by the center, Frecka, pushing out, and Kearns finishing. 14 now for the senior. 5 of 5 shooting for Ethan Kearns.
36-29 Fairland. A hot start offensively for both teams to begin the third quarter. Smith spinning, baseline drive, kicks it out. And an offensive foul on Smith. His 3rd tonight.
And he just left his feet, and really, if he would have noticed that, Philip Thacker was just sitting there waiting, he probably could have just closed down the dribble and then gone for the layup because he had his man beat. But he looked for that drift pass, leads to a charge. Only the 3rd turnover. As you mentioned, 3rd foul of the game for one of their key defenders. That one could be a big one.
So a score and a stop for the Panthers. They trail by 7. 2.5 minutes into the third quarter. Thacker feed down low to Frecka. Frecka low post, skip pass into the corner with Kearns. Kearns now back to Frecka inside, flicks it up and in.
Good work there by the Panthers. Frecka with a nice skip pass. And then Kearns, instead of rushing the shot, finds his big man inside who finishes with a nice left hand. 7 points for Frecka.
Pass from Polson, nobody home, a turnover for the Dragons. It looks like we're going to have a timeout potentially for Fairland. And Coach Speed finally able to get the attention of a referee, and we'll have the first timeout tonight for the Dragons.
Yeah, it really started when it looked like Buchanan had a layup. Because he gets the block, and they get the run out, they get another stop, or they force another turnover after that by taking the charge. You get a basket, and then you force one more turnover. And it's how basketball's played. You force turnovers, you play great defense, and then you're efficient on the offensive end. You're going to keep yourself in game. So even though they got down 9, almost down 11, your sophomore makes a huge play, and you've taken advantage of it so far. Let's see if they can keep chipping away at this lead. And that shows the maturity of this team as well, where I think a lot of people, because their schedule wasn't super tough to start, and then they had this Ironton-Fairland gauntlet to finish the year, we kind of see where they're at. I think we've seen where they're at. This is a very good team. It's a mature team. Not sure if they're going to be able to keep coming back. It's still a lot of time left. But it's a mature team that, maybe last year we don't see that, where they're able to kind of chip away as opposed to trying to get it all back at once.
So the Panthers take over, 4:40 to go in the third. They trail by 5. Frecka backing down Polson. Kicks it out to Thacker, right side with Kearns now. Kearns inside, through traffic, finishes up top for the deuce.
It's a team that has a lot of guys coming back. A very good junior class, but Ethan Kearns has been the best player on the court tonight for the Panthers. 16 points for the senior.
In the corner, we're going to have a foul on Thacker. He arm-checked Cliff Franson. Maddox Goo onto the floor for the first time tonight.
Had a good JV game. That was a very good JV game before this. I believe it was 40 to 35, 36. Something along those lines. Really good win for Chesapeake in that junior varsity outing.
And that's another thing, John, that you've seen this season. Chesapeake with a very successful JV squad. Buchanan spinning inside. Tough defense from Kazee. Kearns the rebound for the Panthers. Kearns puts it on the floor, cut off by Goo. Thacker lobbing it down low to Frecka. Frecka up with the left hand, can't roll it in. And last touch by Trevor Locko.
I think it's going to be a foul on Locko, actually, because Caden Perkins falling down on the play.
So a defensive foul on Trevor Locko, his second. Baseline out of bounds play now for the Panthers. Perkins bounces it in. Kearns for 3. Yes!
Perkins finds Kearns. Good job cutting back. They ran that same action earlier for a 3 for Kearns, and he connects once again. 10 points here in the third for Ethan Kearns. He's got 19 on the game.
All tied up, 36 apiece. Locko dribbling wildly. We'll have a foul on the floor. Looks like it'll be Caden Perkins.
Ended up calling it on Frecka, which I think is why he was kind of arguing. He's got to be kind of careful with that. He's talked a lot to the officials, and I think he's done it in the right way, but you still have to be careful with that, especially later in a game when the intensity picks up even more.
36 all here at the Pearson Court. Less than 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's been a highly contested OVC title race this season. Buchanan low post. Now Buchanan backs it out. Buchanan's pass taken away. Kazee corrals it for the Panthers. Kazee going all the way, can't finish off the glass. Rebound Buchanan. Buchanan full head of steam inside. Nearly had the and one layup. Nonetheless, he'll head the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, it looked like it may have been a kick on Kazee. Ended up not getting called. He misses the layup in transition. And then Buchanan does a good job of getting downhill. It's going to be the first foul on Ethan Kearns.
And John, you just looked at some of the finishes between the top 3 in the Ohio Valley Conference as Buchanan misses the first.
Something you don't see often.
Fairland with a pair of double overtime wins.
1 over each.
Correct.
Yeah, the first
and then
game.
Chesapeake with an overtime win this past Monday.
And the one game with Ironton that wasn't as close was when Ironton was just getting into basketball season, as it seems like they're really getting into the groove at this point. But that's a really, really good top 3. They're the 2, 3, and 4 in Division 5 in the Southeast District.
And that's the best part about this matchup here tonight. How good it has been through 2.5 games as Perkins driving inside, rejected by Franson. Buchanan hits the deck. Held basketball, whistled in. It should stay on this end with the Dragons.
Good work there by Cliff Franson to get a hand on it. And then it's just a loose ball on the ground, which, of course, you see Brody Buchanan down on the floor to get it. Jump ball, as you mentioned, for the Panthers.
And, John, just how good this matchup has been through a little over a game and a half. Potentially a rematch at the Convo here in a couple weeks.
Eastern Brown might have something to say about that because that's a very good team as well that Chesapeake would have to get through.
Fracka an entry pass to Kazee. Kazee falling away, deflected by Buchanan. Last touch by Perkins, going the other way with Fairland.
It's a nice, Brody Buchanan listed it at 5'10", Kazee at 6'3". Buchanan elevates at the same time as him, gets a hand on it, gets the block. Loose ball goes to Fairland.
So the Dragons lead by 1, 1:34 to go in the third quarter. Smith opposite of the screen, cut off by Kearns.
Wouldn't shock me if they run this down. I do like this. Kazee guarding Buchanan, Buchanan guarding Kazee. You want the best on best, and that's what we're getting in the OVC.
And John, time of possession for the Dragons has been a big, big part in their success this season.
Yeah, you got 4 guys that are really good ball handlers.
Polson out to Buchanan, long 3. That's good. Brody Buchanan with his 4th triple tonight.
And because you've got all those different ball handlers, when Polson finds it, who's a great passer from the interior, you can get open looks. Buchanan knocks down the triple. 19 now for the senior point guard to tie him for a game high with Ethan Kearns.
35 seconds to go in the third quarter, a 4-point lead for the Dragons.
Yeah, a 4-0 run here after that extended run from Chesapeake. Tied it at 36.
And a timeout for Chesapeake.
Yeah, you got 5. Why not use one to set up maybe your best play, maybe a look that you haven't taken for a while that maybe Fairland hasn't seen? You got 13 and a half seconds. I like the timeout there from Coach Ader. And plus, this gets you ready for tournament time because at some point you're going to need to draw up something. Why not work on it now, even though you're obviously trying to win this game? But working on those little things in game situations is just going to make you even better down the line.
And John, we mentioned pregame. Fairland shooting 38% from downtown as a team. Brody Buchanan on the lower half of the team shooting from deep. 28% on the season. You would know that from watching the first 3 quarters here tonight.
Yeah, he shoots with such confidence at all times. And I think maybe because where he's coming off the dribble, sometimes it's not going to be as efficient as if his feet are set. But, man, he's still the guy you want shooting in those situations.
40-36, the Dragons leading the Panthers. 11 now, 10 seconds to go in the third.
They got to go.
Thacker to Kearns in the left corner. 2 to shoot, Kearns to Frecka. Frecka didn't get it off in time. So the Panthers win the third quarter by 2, still trailing by 4, headed into the fourth. We'll take a break. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
We welcome you back to the Pearson Court. The Dragons with a 4-point lead, 8 minutes away from their first outright OVC title in 3 seasons. Chesapeake looking to make it back-to-back.
Yeah, a little 4-0 run to end the quarter, including that big triple in the about 30 seconds left for Brody Buchanan. Gives him 19, tie him with Ethan Kearns for a game high. I said you got to try to get Cuzzy more involved. He was 0 for 3 in that quarter, but they ultimately win the quarter because of what Ethan Kearns was able to do.
So the Dragons will begin with the basketball to begin the fourth. Buchanan, another 3. This time can't connect. Big time offensive rebound for Keegan Smith. Second chance opportunity now for the Dragons.
That's kind of what I've talked about. Keegan Smith hasn't scored. He's taken 1 shot, but he can still impact the game because of his athleticism and his, just knowledge of the game.
Buchanan driving to the basket, out to Laco. Can't connect from 3.
Good call.
Last touch by Cliff Franson.
Got that thing up pretty quick, did Laco. Nice drive and kick from Buchanan. Laco's first miss. He's 3 for 4 from the field in the game, 2 for 3 from 3.
Perkins down low, feed to Frecka, flicks it up with the left hand, up and in.
Yeah, the action on the backside looked like it was going to be a throwback up top for a 3, but Frecka does a good job rim running, gets to the front of the rim. 9 points now for the big.
Buchanan back to Franson, down low with Paulson. Back to Franson, Paulson now. The Dragons will look to reset with Buchanan, 6:30 to go in the fourth. Philip Thacker deflecting the Cliff Franson pass out of bounds. So Keegan Smith to inbound in front of his own bench. 6:25 to play. Franson down low with Laco. Laco back to Franson inside, blocked by Frecka, but a foul.
2 officials called it, so they must have seen something. We're a little further away. Great cut from Cliff Franson. It looked like A nice block up top by Frecka, but ultimately the foul is called his third.
Cliff Franson, 75% from the stripe this season, connects on the first.
He's got 12.
Right at his average.
Yeah, looking back, I'd say where he comes down. If he just stays straight up Frecka, that's probably not getting called, but where he slaps down, ends up making contact for the foul.
Franson knocks down the pair, lead up to 4 for the Dragons. And John trailing by Fairland in the fourth quarter. A dangerous game to play for Chesapeake.
Yeah, you have to be very efficient on the offensive end, where you got to lay up in front from Frecka. You got to get looks like that throughout.
Kazee for 3, yes!
Big time shot there from the sophomore. A good look, clean look, and he buries the triple. 11 points now for Kazee.
Buchanan driving to the basket, answers with a tough layup.
Tough is right with his offhand as well. Finishes, gets it high off the glass, finishing over Thacker. Good finish, 3-point lead once again.
Kazee inside, able to bank it in. Back and forth we go at the Pearson court.
You got the guy going against the guy right now. Both are attacking, both making big time plays for their team.
Buchanan now, wild underneath. Lost the basketball, corralled by the Panthers. Now Kazee, right elbow jumper, in and out. Frecka the rebound and a held basketball. Should stay on this end with Chesapeake.
I love that shot though. In transition, you got guys underneath. It should be here. We had the jump ball last quarter. To start the quarter, it was Fairland ball, yeah. Dude, I'd be like, I've worked the scorers table and not like a big game. I'd be so nervous that I screwed it up in that situation, even though you know and you've done it 100 times.
Kazee lobs it into Thacker.
You got to have full possession.
Kazee driving to the basket with the left hand, banks it in. Tough shot for the sophomore, Maddox Kazee. And a timeout for Fairland.
They cleared out the entire left side. Kazee goes all the way to the basket and finishes a 7-0 run. No, correction, a 7-2 run by Kazee. And that's why they have the lead back. The fourth lead change of the game. Even though there's only been 4 lead changes, this game has not, I mean, it's been super competitive throughout. Fairland's had the lead for the majority of it, but
first lead for Chesapeake since I would guess the first quarter.
I think the first quarter, yeah. We had a tie there in the second quarter for a very short amount of time. And then, Buchanan was able to extend it back out. The biggest lead's been 9 for Fairland there early in the third quarter. Then a 9-0 run tied it for Chesapeake.
And John, with a 9-day break for both of these teams before their district quarterfinal matchups, both looking for a lot of momentum heading into that week-plus break.
Yeah, these teams are very tough, and for Chesapeake, that momentum would be huge. As I mentioned, a possible district semi with Eastern Brown isn't the most lovely thing to look forward to.
And a foul on Philip Thacker. Second of the quarter for Chesapeake.
I think it's just his second.
Carson Frecka back onto the floor for the Panthers.
He's got his nose bandaged up, so must have taken a shot at some point. I would guess it was on that layup that made it a 2-point game.
So the Dragons, who have led for a large majority of tonight's game, now trail by 1 in the fourth quarter. Buchanan to Franson, feed down low to Polson. Polson back to Buchanan, long 3, puts it in. Brody Buchanan with his 5th triple tonight.
Well, you mentioned, they're trailing, but if you're going to be trailing, you want to have Brody Buchanan. Just such a big shot. Good find from Polson.
Off the top of my head, John, I think 5 for 7 from deep for Buchanan here tonight.
I'll have to look at just a second.
Kazee going to work inside. We're tied up once again, this time at 47.
Kazee was 17 points, 9 in this quarter. He's 4 for 5 from the field in this fourth quarter.
A showdown of two of Southern Ohio's best. Philip Thacker on the run out, lays it up and in for the deuce.
Yeah, Philip Thacker has been a defensive menace tonight. And he does so in a big way there with a steal and layup to take the lead back for the Panthers. Only 4 points for Thacker.
49-47, Panthers leading. Chesapeake faithful coming to their feet here at the Pearson Court. Polson, a bounce pass. Locko inside, finishes.
Thought he went a little too hard off the glass there. Good finish from Locko. Once again, another find from Polson. 5 assists for the center. 10 points for Locko.
Perkins off the screen, driving baseline, cut off by Polson. Kazee now looking to work baseline, up with the left hand, but Kazee towing the baseline prior to the shot.
I was going to say, that was a matchup, a switch they probably liked there, but Polson does a good job of forcing him to the baseline. Kazee almost beats him. As you mentioned, toes the line. That's the first turnover since the second quarter for Chesapeake, only their 5th of the game. Saw in overtime and late in their first matchup where both teams just held it for extended periods of time. We could see that here, but not necessarily.
Keegan Smith driving to the basket. What a find for Gabe Polson to give the Dragons the lead.
And what a time for his first basket of the game for Keegan Smith.
Kazee off the screen. Now Thacker driving to the basket, ties it up at 51.
Thacker coming alive here in the fourth. Both teams' defensive aces coming up with big offensive plays in the last 3 minutes of this game. That's what you want to see in a league championship matchup.
Locko, backdoor pass deflected by Kearns. Kearns onto the deck. And a timeout for Chesapeake. 1:05 to go in the fourth. Third timeout tonight for the Panthers. Full timeout for Coach Ader. We'll take it with him. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Pearson Court here in Chesapeake, knotted up 51-51. Panthers with the basketball. 2 timeouts remaining for Chesapeake, 3 remaining for Fairland.
Fairland can be very aggressive defensively here. I would guess Chesapeake's going to hold for 1, if not to just get a good look here. But Fairland has no team fouls, so they got 4 fouls to give. They have the possession arrow, so I could see them being very aggressive defensively here, trying to force a turnover, try to force a jump ball, try to get the possession back, and not let Chesapeake run this down to the last shot.
So Caden Perkins going to walk it up the floor for the Panthers. Less than a minute to go here in Chesapeake.
Good defense from Laco.
Kazee close to the midline. 40 seconds to go in the fourth.
Got to get rid of it. Yeah,
plenty of fouls to give for the Dragons. A timeout for the Panthers. Their fourth. It'll be a full timeout for the Panthers. We'll keep it here. 2 fouls this quarter for Chesapeake. Still 0 for Fairland. So a lot of room here for the Dragons.
Yeah, I think it was 35 seconds. This is one of those clocks that runs down during the timeouts. So we'll adjust that here in a second. But, yeah, I think if they do that handoff at the midline, I think Coach Speed might tell them, we got to jump that. Because if you get a foul, it's no big deal. You might be able to get a tie-up. You might be able to rip it out, get a turnover, and maybe get a run out to win the game here.
John, I'll ask you, where does tonight's crowd compare with Minford and South Webster a couple weeks ago?
Well, it's a smaller gym, but you see the overflow everywhere. You see in the doorways. I had mentioned when we came in as a PE teacher, probably don't love seeing all these doorways in this gym, but as a fan, as an AD, you like it because you can get more people in here. So I love the overflow. We didn't have a villain versus superhero matchup at halftime, so maybe there's a slight advantage, whichever way you want to say. But this has been an outstanding crowd. They've been great to us here so far. We love our first trip here to Chesapeake.
One of the best matchups we've had on live stream this season. Here in the last week of the regular season in the Southeast District. 2 top-seeded teams in the Division 5 tournament. Kazee lobbing it into Kearns, nearly lost it. 30 to play here in the fourth.
Yeah, that's why you jump it.
And a turnover on the midline. There was no tip by Fairland.
And
the
if there was
forced the turnover.
If there was, I think Perkins touched it on the way back. What a play by Trevor Laco.
So the Dragons now with possession. What a turn of events here at the Pearson Court. .16 now, 15 to shoot for Fairland. Now 10 and a timeout for the Dragons.
And I think you're going to see just a similar situation. You might see a screen come at Buchanan here. You might just see him just go. But 9.5 seconds left. OVC championship game. It's really everything you could ask for. So what do you think? Probably going to go Buchanan? But you get Buchanan, you get him going downhill. You might use Polson to screen there. You got the shooters in the corners. I think you got to throw Franson, Laco in the corners. Maybe you start them on the wings and they float to the corner when Buchanan goes. Because then you got to make it to where it's got to be a one-on-one. Or if you screen, which to me I wouldn't do because Freck has done a great job of jumping it and forcing him up, and that's going to run a couple more seconds. I would almost just try to just go, hey, we got to go 4 low. Brody, you're going. If someone comes to you, you kick. One of our 40% shooters from the outside knocks it down. But this is why these coaches have won so many games. This is why these two teams have both won 19 games this year, playing for win number 20, playing for a league championship. This is what high school basketball is about.
Big thank you to Kenneth Hay for making the it was about an hour and a half trip down here to Chesapeake tonight. Knotted up at 51 apiece, 9.5 seconds to play.
Yeah, and if you force them into the backcourt, look for Buchanan to just get it and go.
Smith into Buchanan, 7 to go for the Dragons.
Good job.
And a foul by Kazee. Just the third in the quarter for Chesapeake.
And you got one more to go. So I wouldn't be surprised you see another timeout here and try to set something up going towards the basket, because they're just going to use the other timeout or the other foul.
Into Buchanan. And a quick foul by Kazee. Now 3.1 seconds to play. No more fouls to give for the Panthers. Timeout, Fairland. It'll be a full timeout for the Dragons. We'll take it with them. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Pearson Court here in Chesapeake. Back and forth contest all night between the Dragons and Panthers, and it has all come down to 3.1 seconds here in the fourth quarter. It'll be Dragons basketball near side with Keegan Smith to inbound. Smith into Buchanan. Buchanan for the championship, off the mark. And we're going to overtime in Chesapeake. Second overtime contest for the Panthers in 3 days. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Four minutes back onto the clock here in Chesapeake, 51 all. The Panthers and Dragons are slugging it out for either a share or an outright OVC title.
That was really good coaching down the stretch by both teams, but really for Coach Ader there, his team executed it really well to where you're using the fouls to give. But the only thing is now you're in overtime, you have no fouls to give because the game just continues on from where you were. Each team gets a timeout added. Fairland has no fouls so far, where the next foul on Chesapeake does lead to free throws, which we haven't seen a whole lot of them tonight. But
and
yeah,
John,
that was.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the timeouts reset to 2 for overtime.
Yes.
Correct?
Well, you get one extra. So each team had one timeout left. You get an additional one for each timeout or each overtime. So if we go to 10 overtimes, you get that many timeouts.
So just how we started off with Smith and Kazee to the center circle. 4 minutes of extra basketball along the Ohio River. The Panthers take the opening tip of the extra period.
Neither team scored in the first overtime period last Friday. See if they're more aggressive here.
The third overtime contest for the Panthers this season within the OVC.
And kind of crazy, they're late.
Same can be said for Fairland. Here's Kazee inside, can't finish. Last touch by Franson.
What I was going to say, it was kind of crazy late where both teams had possession over the last 65 seconds and either got a real good look off. It was the forced three near a little inside half court by Buchanan to finish. but turnovers for both teams when turnovers were not an issue at all for either team throughout the game.
Kazee lobs it into the backcourt with Perkins. Kazee going to work inside, can't finish. Rebound Buchanan.
It was good work, just good defense as well, just not going for any of the dribble moves, and ultimately forcing him into a tough shot in the paint, which he's unable to finish.
.90 seconds gone here in the extra period.
Ooh.
Buchanan thought about the three instead. Locko connects from downtown.
Locko is absolutely dynamite from downtown. 3 for 4 now in the game. 13 points for Trevor Locko.
The Dragons have been on fire tonight from beyond the arc. They now lead by 3 here in overtime. Caden Perkins driving to the basket, draws the foul.
Perkins, who's been one of their better scorers throughout the season, has not scored yet tonight. In fact, hasn't taken a shot since the second quarter. Good aggressiveness, though, by the junior to be able to get himself to the foul line.
Foul whistled in on Trevor Locko, his third. 2 big shots now for Caden Perkins as he misses the first.
Now 5 for 6 are the Panthers from the free throw line here in the game.
Second shot for Perkins is good. Less than 2 minutes to go here in overtime.
We almost saw Kazee get a steal because of it, not really a lazy pass, but the cross-court pass. But it led to the 3. See if they pressure one of the other guys besides Buchanan to try to force them to make something at the free throw line.
And John, this is where Fairland's ability to control the basketball comes into play.
100%. I'd probably look to foul this time. I mean, try to stretch this game out, and as soon as somebody other than Buchanan's got it, be very active.
On the floor now for the Dragons, Trevor Locko, under 50% from the free throw line this season.
Which is crazy because he's close to 50% from the three-point line. Which is why he's not involved in really any of this action here on the dribble.
And Kazee fouling Buchanan.
But that's why I like the foul earlier, because when Buchanan wasn't getting the ball, ultimately he gets it with about 1:25 left and is able to run another 18 seconds off the clock. Now he gets back to the free throw line where he is 1 for 2 on the night.
78% on the season. Is Buchanan able to knock down the first?
25 now for Brody Buchanan.
(56-52) Fairland. Inside, Thacker can't finish. Thacker the offensive rebound out to Kearns. Kearns now driving through contact, banks it in. Tough shot for the senior.
Still has not missed from the field tonight.
A timeout for Chesapeake. It'll be a full timeout, but we'll keep it here.
Yeah, Ethan Kearns, 8 for 8 from the field, 21 points. They just outside of, so in the first and third quarters, he's really gotten off. Here in the, I guess we're in the fifth quarter, so maybe that's why he's shooting, because he didn't shoot in the second or fourth for the Panthers, but playing a really nice all-around game. Really good work there from Phil Thacker after he missed the inside shot to stick with it. Been really impressed with what he's been able to bring to the table tonight. As I mentioned, with what feels like about 20 minutes ago, been really impressed with what this Chesapeake team's been able to do tonight and throughout the whole season. Where we kind of talked a little bit on Overtime presented by Perfection One about, Chesapeake's schedule wasn't the toughest. When they lost to Valley, that kind of opened our eyes to Valley, because Valley's been one of the really good stories in the second half of the year. But I think that made us more into a believer in the Valley, but also it kind of questioned us a little bit on Chesapeake. But I think they've answered every one of those questions here tonight. No fouls to give for Chesapeake. The possession arrow goes to Fairland. So maybe if Fairland breaks this pressure, they quickly foul. But I think if at least Buchanan's hands, you got to foul, especially in the half court.
Buchanan into the half court for the Dragons. Into the corner with Laco. And a loose basketball corralled by Kazee, thrown off of Polson, and the Chesapeake Panthers with a much-needed stop on the defensive side. Heady play by the sophomore Maddox Kazee.
And I was losing my mind because they didn't foul Laco, the 46% free throw shooter, but Kazee does a great job getting the steal and then saving the possession for the Panthers.
Less than 30 seconds to go here in Chesapeake. And a foul on the floor. It'll be Brody Buchanan.
And you got fouls to give, so you can be aggressive. You can try to get through and just try to draw the foul there. Try to maybe knock it loose.
First foul tonight for Buchanan. Perkins driving inside, and another defensive foul on the Dragons. This time it'll be Trevor Laco, John, and I believe that'll be his fourth.
Yeah, that's his fourth. Only one foul to give now for Fairland. They've ran a couple actions to get Ethan Kern's threes on the out of bounds, but they were from the other block. Let's see if they run anything special here to try to get a quick hitter.
Perkins lobs it into Kazee. Kazee up with the right hand, throws it in. All tied up at 56. 3 to shoot. Buchanan to the basket for the championship. Can't bank it in. The Dragons faithful is ready to storm the Pearson court as we're headed to double overtime here in Chesapeake.
What a game so far. What an absolute gem of a game. He's going to make that 80 times out of 100. Might have rushed it just because of the horn. But great play by Kazee to finish and to force into a second overtime.
4 more minutes here in Chesapeake. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new Pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Pearson court here in Chesapeake. Double overtime coming up between the Fairland Dragons and Chesapeake Panthers with the OVC title on the line here tonight for the Dragons. It would be an outright conference championship. Chesapeake looking to make it back-to-back seasons with at least a share of that OVC title.
And this year's been a little less crazy than last year, but this is how the OVC should finish. Last year was what? Chesapeake won it with what, 3 or 4 losses? Yeah, 11-3 last year. It's not switching sides. It should be the same, yeah.
Period number 6 coming up here along the Ohio River. Smith and Kazee to the center circle as Chesapeake takes the double overtime tip. Kazee kicks it out to Perkins.
I'll give Perkins a lot of credit there in overtime. He's a lot more aggressive, even though he's only scored 1 point in the game. But he got them in a really good position with his drive there that was set up the third foul. And then Kazee's ultimate heroics to tie it.
Kazee off the screen. Inside double teamed, regains possession, off the glass, banks it in. Tough shot through traffic for the sophomore Maddox Kazee, who gives the Panthers the lead.
Yeah, he's been outstanding in the second half or fourth quarter, and now in the overtime periods as well.
Buchanan, left-handed runner, is good. Tough shot for the senior.
He's just so tough at every level.
Kazee driving baseline, right-handed jump hook is good. Kazee and Buchanan going back and forth here at the Pearson court.
Yeah, mano, they're guarding each other. We're getting some switches as well, but this is what you want. You want best on best, and that's why we're seeing a sixth period right now because of how balanced these two have been.
Buchanan for three, yes!
This is fun, isn't it, dude?
Dragons back out in front by one. The second double overtime meeting between these teams this season. Kazee opposite of the screen inside, poke loose by Laco, corralled by Perkins.
Good work there by both Laco and Perkins.
Thacker feed down low. Kazee inside through traffic, banks it in. Another tough finish for Kazee.
He's made his last 4 shots.
62-61 Chesapeake. Buchanan inside, flips it up with the left hand and misses. Kazee the rebound, throwing it up court. It's picked off by Franson.
It's their first turnover since regulation. That's a big one.
Blanco slipping up, lost it, corralled by Buchanan.
Got to switch here.
Buchanan, another three, can't connect. Long rebound for Franson. Back to Buchanan, 60 seconds to go. Buchanan inside, banks it in.
You can't give him that many chances.
Perkins driving, kicks it out. Thacker fakes inside. Thacker off the glass, won't go. Rebound Buchanan, who's fouled.
Got a good look. Gabe Polson did a great job of keeping that play from getting rebound from Frecka inside. Ends up in the hands of Brody Buchanan, which is who you want at the line if you are the Fairland Dragons.
So 2 big free throws for Brody Buchanan. He knocks down the first. Timeout, Chesapeake. It'll be a full timeout for the Panthers. We'll take it with them. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
64-62, the Fairland Dragons leading Chesapeake with 35.9 seconds to go in double overtime.
Pretty fun matchup. 34 now for Brody Buchanan, 25 for Maddox Kazee.
With 35.9 seconds to go, Buchanan knocks it down. 65-62, Dragons leading.
Like the aggressive defense.
Still a foul to give for Fairland. Kazee driving to the basket through traffic, can't finish. Rebound for Franson. Keegan Smith draws the foul.
And what a box out by Cliff Franson right there, where the ball's bouncing, he gets so much body into Kazee, just wipes him out to where he has no chance to get that offensive rebound.
Smith misses the first. 65% from the stripe this season is Keegan Smith, a big one here for number 13.
I think no matter what, you got to go quick if you're Chesapeake.
4-point lead now for the Dragons. Thacker lost it. Kearns corrals it. Out to Perkins, who drives inside, can't finish.
They're going to give him 2 shots. They signaled 2. Well, maybe it was 2 down, but.
So the foul on the floor for Gabe Polson. Into Kearns, can't connect from 3. Polson the rebound. A foul on Franson.
It's a great high school basketball game, though. I hope we get to see episode 3 down at the Convo, because these are just 2 outstanding teams, very well coached, very gritty teams. And really, no matter what the final score is going to say, as Franson knocks down the first one, these teams are even. Like, I don't care what the final score is going to say, because you've been even through 4 quarters in both games.
Franson knocks down the pair. And the Fairland Dragons are outright OVC champions.
Yeah, just an outstanding high school basketball game. 2 great teams. We're going to see them, I think further down the line as well. 19 wins for Chesapeake, nothing to hang your head about, even with a second place finish in the OVC. I think they would tell you they would take a district championship over an OVC championship, which we very well could see if these 2 teams play to their capabilities down the line.
68-62, the final in Chesapeake, as Fairland completes the perfect 14-0 season in the Ohio Valley Conference. We'll take a break. You've been watching Ohio High School Boys Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glowhio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par Mar has it. Download the Par Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
We welcome you back to Chesapeake High School. Panthers falling to Fairland 68-62, John, in a clash between two of the best here in Southern Ohio, and it's exactly why they're two of the top 3 teams in the Division V tournament. We've mentioned all throughout the broadcast and a very obvious potential rematch, a potential third matchup in the district final in a couple weeks down in Athens. You know, given how the first 2 contests have gone, a pair of double overtime matches, I don't think it's too much to ask for a third.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would be real disappointed if that happened. And here's the other thing, though, I will say. If it would be a rematch between Eastern Brown and Fairland, those have came down to the last seconds the last 2 years that they've
We've
played.
Seen a lot of good basketball this season from Fairland.
Yeah, these are outstanding teams. I don't know. It's hard to describe how good of a game this was if you didn't see it. The great crowd, great atmosphere. It's just overall was just, this is what, once again, I said it a couple times, this is what high school basketball is all about. You play for the crowd, you play for your community, you play for your teammates, and ultimately it may have taken 40 minutes to decide both times these two have played, but I think we'd all sign up for another 32. And if it doesn't go to overtime, that's okay, because these teams have played their hearts out for 80 minutes so far. Fairland just a hair better in 80 minutes, even though they weren't in 62 or 64. Man, I lost track of math there for a second. But, yeah, just an outstanding performance from both teams in this game. Not a lot of turnovers. There's the turnovers that came were big at big times, but ultimately I don't think really hurt either team at the end of the day. But for Fairland, yeah, Brody Buchanan, you like your matchups in most nights. He has 35, does the senior, comes alive late, missed the shot he would tell you he needs to make at the end of overtime number 1, where I'm not 100% sure he got it off even, but gets a decent look, doesn't finish, but comes up big in double overtime. Hits a couple of big shots where him and Cuzzy were just going really mano a mano there in the second overtime. He hits the three, and that's ultimately the difference. We said it off the air. You said once they hit the three, that made it to where they weren't just answering each other. It was if Chesapeake got behind, which they did because they missed on their end, that makes the difference in the game. Ultimately is that 1-3. But 35 points for Brady Buchanan. He was unbelievable all night. 15 points for Cliff Franson. 6 rebounds as well. 13 points from Trevor Locko. 3 points from Keegan Smith, all of which came in either overtime or I think it was with like a minute 30 left. He scored his first basket of the game. And then 2 points and 6 assists for Gabe Polson for the Dragons. Saw Gavin Ballard. I think we saw Jeremiah Pfizer as well, and I think we saw Maddox Goo for a couple minutes as well. But overall, just a really good performance from everyone on the Fairland side. And you can say the same thing for Chesapeake as they come up just a little bit short tonight. Maddox Cuzzy with 25 points. Only had 8 points going into the fourth quarter. I had said they got to kind of force it to him. Struggled a little bit in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, and overtimes he was really, really good. He had a nice turnaround basket to force double overtime. Just an outstanding performance from the sophomore. 21 points for Ethan Kearns. The senior goes 8 for 9 from the field. 3 steals as well. Missed the last shot, which was a really forced shot late. And that was his only miss, but he was really good throughout the game. 9 points for Carson Frecka. 6 points for Philip Thacker. I thought he played really well defensively. 1 point for Caden Perkins. No points for John Cooper Barker or Drew Plants. But I thought they gave some good minutes as well, especially that first half. Ultimately, we had 10 lead changes, 12 ties in the game. Most of that came late in the fourth quarter and in overtime as well. So an outstanding game. I thought we saw some really good coaching moves. In 9 seconds left, Fairland calls timeout, but with fouls to give, Chesapeake makes it to where they got to shoot pretty much a half quarter there at the end. I thought that was a really high-level coaching and knowing to do it by the players is the biggest thing in that. And then Fairland just makes enough plays down the stretch. Really good high school basketball game. Once again, we've said it multiple times. Hope to see it again down the road at the Convo.
And both teams once again back in action on February 21st for Chesapeake. Back here at home at the Pearson Court, they'll have Alexander for Fairland. They'll be at home in Proctorville against the winner of Piketon and River Valley's district first round matchup. Big thank you to the athletic department down here at Chesapeake for hooking us up with the great spot here in the stands. Also a big thank you to Matt Combs for hooking us up with the table, as we're not totally sure tonight would have been possible without it. All in all, a great trip down here to Chesapeake.
Yeah, Kenneth Hay showing off his climbing abilities as their crow's nest isn't the easiest to get to. And
old school.
Yeah, a little old school. Kenneth did a great job of getting to that multiple times tonight. And I mean, you mentioned it, first-class organization down here at Chesapeake. They did a great job. And anytime we get to see these teams, it's always in for a treat.
And with the regular season winding down, John, and the tournament beginning next week, be sure to check out next week's episode of So-So Overtime presented by Perfection One, airing on Tuesday sometime in the afternoon, where we will break down each boys tournament, divisions 4, 5, 6, and 7 here in the Southeast District.
Yeah, we got a couple more streams. You don't over the next 2 nights, but you know we've got Ross County Christian taking on Westfall on Thursday night, which will be live on YouTube. And then Friday, we've got Chillicothe at Jackson as well. We've also got the Coaches Call-In show, I believe on Thursday of this week as well. So make sure you check out our socials and whatnot. And it's tournament time. We're starting to turn it up. I know Derek Webb went to a really tight girls game tonight as well. So look for more of that throughout the next few weeks.
All righty, well, that'll wrap it up for us here tonight in Chesapeake. For John, Bruce, and Kenneth Hay, my name is Dewey Daly, saying so long from the Pearson Court here at Chesapeake High School. You've been watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority.